Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Today we are going to get right back into our journey to Grandmaster Celestial, that sort of area. And I had this other game in low plat. Haven't played a whole lot, so I'm still in low plat. But I had this game on Mantis the other day that was actually pretty cool. I know a lot of people are accustomed to trying to do like the Hulk team ups and the Iron Man and all that sort of stuff. But it feels like Mantis is just as strong when you're damage boosting Iron Man, and you can get a lot of value with Mantis with a lot of the characters that are popular at the moment. So this game we will show you just how crazy some of that damage can be. Pay no attention to a lot of my auto attacks. I'm not going to hit everything because I'm kind of still getting back into the game and getting back into playing this character specifically. But if you don't know, Mantis can farm back her little like leaf charges in the center of her screen by hitting more of her basic attacks. So pretty much this entire game I'm going to try and damage boost the Iron Man whenever available, but right now a lot of people are taking a lot of damage, so I just want to make sure everyone is staying pretty high health. But we'll throw the damage boost on Iron Man and help him hopefully kill the other Iron Man out of the air. And we just absolutely run them down on this first point. Not really a whole lot to even say on that one, but it feels like Iron Man or any kind of like Flyer, even Torch, BP, Spider-Man, they're all characters that benefit very heavily from a small damage boost. So I think later in this game we actually end up switching to Rocket Mantis, and the damage output is actually a little bit crazy. So as you can see, we damage boost Iron Man there. He's just doing a ton of damage, just taking people out in the back line here. Me and the other healer are just trying to stay back. I have a couple healing over time effects out so we can stay on point, and then the team kind of goes ahead. We'll damage boost the Iron Man, heal the Thor and the Cap here, and then we'll try and go back to point and make sure that this is not moving at a snail's pace, which is nice because I can do healing from a little bit further away. There's been a lot of people that have told me not to play Mantis. There we go. You see the Cap just run in. We'll throw a damage and a heal on him, and he'll just run away. So this is a cool game. But a lot of people think that Mantis has to be that third flex healer, but I don't see a lot of comps actually running a third healer this time around. So, I've had a lot of luck with just playing Mantis, just getting the damage boost and just steamrolling certain teams that are not ready for that kind of damage, especially if you have like a Moon Knight or an Iron Man or something like that, or any combination of the two. You can really just run over people. Unfortunately, this thing gets on me here, and this is where the enemy team is going to turn the map around a little bit. Thing's just going to run me down. I don't end up saving the Iron Man on the front end of that fight with my ult, so that was probably pretty bad. But they end up popping Cloak ult, so we know they have one of their support ults popped at least, and that will be okay. My team is actually doing pretty good. It feels like no one else is really dying. We end up Cloak ulting ourselves, so that probably helped out a little bit. But I see the Iron Man up high, try and get a heal on him, try and get a damage boost on him, and see if we can turn this back around. And there we go. Thor gets a nice kill. Iron Man follows it up with that little damage boosted damage, and as you can see, that Cloak and Dagger goes down pretty quickly. So I'm not sure how he saved that, especially with the both of the supports kind of dying one after the other, but we end up getting this point, and it feels like, in the moment at least, it felt like we were absolutely steamrolling these people. It felt like as soon as we got some damage buffs rolling and people were just getting run down, it was just going to be very hard for them to recover. And that's how I've actually won a couple games on Mantis, is just by steamrolling people, not giving them a chance to recover, and all that sort of thing. I think this character is a bit harder to play on defense just because you don't really get that back foot energy, keeping someone on the back foot and not letting them fully reset. As soon as someone gets a full 6v6 reset and you get into these prolonged fights where they're more brawls, you definitely might want to consider swapping. But at least for situations like this, as you can see, the enemy has fully reset here, so we're fighting a full 6v6, and it's going a bit worse, I would say. So we get the Dark Child. I see her in the back, and so I just sleep her, and then we'll take her out there. Mantis sleep is also just crazy, especially with some of these assassins that get on the back line. So I've been quite partial to just putting assassins to sleep, and I think I do something kind of funny with the Hulk a little bit later in this recording. So we get a nice pick from the Iron Man here, taking out the Cloak and Dagger. And then I managed to range the Cloud Ring time. Unfortunately, we're going to lose our Cloak and Dagger to it, and Thing is just going to run me down. I use my sleep while he's in his charge, which is kind of stupid, and I'll just get run down and spawn here. Unfortunately, can't kill the Thing fast enough, but the Thor's going to get 2 more. Iron Man's going to kill the Thing there, and we should be able to get a decent push going because we take out 4 members of the enemy team. So, still 3 minutes on the clock. Not feeling too bad about this one. We're still feeling pretty confident. I'm also kind of debating to swap off Mantis here just because that last fight was more prolonged than I wanted it to be. We want to make sure that we're able to still get that pressure going. And I like that we switched to Iron Fist here, especially because Iron Fist and Iron Man are both good characters to have the damage boost on. I can kind of damage boost them and forget about them. So this Hulk is just going to, yeah, he's just going to work me. It is what it is. And that's another reason why I would probably want to switch. In hindsight, I should have probably swapped off Mantis just because the Thing and the Hulk are making my life miserable. And there are other healers that are way, way better at surviving in those same situations. If you don't sleep something and run away and they kind of give up on you, you're a little bit screwed. So all of our teammates are very, very low here. But we're going to throw a heal on the Cap, throw a heal on the Thor, throw a heal on damage boost on the Iron Man, and sleep the Hulk. We're just going to leave him there. He's going to be sleeping for the whole time. I check back just to make sure he is still sleeping, and he's just going to be sitting there for a while we kill the rest of his team. So this was actually a pretty big sleep here too, which is another thing. If the Hulk overextends or someone overextends on you and you just sleep them and leave them there, the enemy team is just fighting a very, very slowed down fight. And the Hulk actually stopped to try and kill our Cloak and Dagger off of spawn there, which didn't work super well. The Thing misses his ult, and so now we can just damage boost, heal boost the Iron Man, and get the easy win. So yeah, damage boost just feels very, very good this season. If you haven't tried out Mantis, or this is kind of your play style and you haven't tried her recently, maybe you played her when she was a little bit more OP in season 1, I would definitely recommend trying her out. And then we'll just damage boost the Iron Man there, help him get some damage off spawn, get his ult nice and charged up. And we'll also be damage boosting the Iron Fist primarily in this setup as well. So we'll throw another heal on the Iron Man, make sure that he's full on HP. Damage boost the Cap, damage boost the Iron Man, damage boost the Iron Fist. And we're going to try and let our other healer, who is a Rocket, has a little bit more cleave there. As far as healing, make sure that he's able to top people up because they're not taking as much damage as I thought they were going to. So I'm going to prioritize a couple more damage boosts off the rip on that fight, see if we can get a pick. And then once the enemy really starts cranking out damage, I just get absolutely bodied. Thankfully, I get rocket res, but we're going to have to prioritize a little bit more healing in this regard. And they take out most of our team here. I'm going to heal boost, damage boost the Iron Man, see if he can do something crazy. We'll sleep the Moon Knight, and then we'll back over to this left-hand side. And I'm not really sure why the enemy is not pushing onto point here. They really should have just run us down. I mean, if they kill 3 of us, I don't know why they're not pushing point. But I'm just a few % off my ult, so that's going to be pretty unfortunate, pretty bad timing. And I believe we actually lose this first point here, which is not going to be ideal, obviously. But we held off the enemy for a good amount of time. Not worried too much about it. They do need to get all 3 points to take the victory. So immediately we're just going to damage boost, heal boost the Iron Man, help him out with this mag. And unfortunately the enemy team does get the point, so we're going to back up just a touch. So kind of a rough start. I die early there, so in hindsight, obviously couldn't have died early. But we can turn it around. So we'll damage boost the Iron Fist, damage boost the Iron Man, and see what we can do. Iron Man gets one in the back line here. Iron Fist comes back into my range, so we're going to try and damage boost him again. Enable him to just walk up. Damage boost the Iron Man to help out that Cap even from a range. And then we will throw heals on the Cap so that he can be topped off by a Rocket behind me. And kind of just throw a heal on him and forget about him. I see a lot of Mantis players that just spam the heal on a single person trying to get big burst healing. And that's really just not what this character does. You have to be content just not spamming heals into someone for a change. So I think that can be a little bit rough. But it's something that I've grown to enjoy. It's like, this is the amount of healing that you get for this extended period of time. You know, do what you can with it. But don't take more damage than that, and don't take more damage than your other healer can supplement. So this rocket throws a beacon in a really, really terrible spot. I don't know what the heck he's doing there. We'll damage boost the Iron Man yet again. And we'll make sure that this Iron Fist has maximum survivability when he goes in. I cannot hit this rocket in the air for my life. And we'll just damage boost the Iron Man, and we will push the enemy all the way back to spawn. Just about 3.5 minutes on the clock, so we have to do this for quite a bit longer here, but, you know, it's going pretty well at this point. I've not seen a whole lot of teams able to hold this corner specifically. It's usually the one behind me or something a little bit later in the push. So, making sure that you are farming back these orbs as fast as humanly possible. I just start throwing out damage boost because I see the Strange ult come out, so seeing if we can get some follow-up damage there. And then as soon as I get rezzed, I damage boost the Iron Man, seeing if he can take out this tank here. I should have definitely healed the rocket a little bit quicker, but we do get rocket ult here, and I'm searching for a heal, make sure that leaf gets recharged. Looking to heal this Iron Man, and as soon as he is a little bit higher on health, that's when we can damage boost him, and then he can start putting some pressure on the enemy spawn. I see some projectiles going over my head, so I just want to make sure that Iron Man is going to stay higher health. I believe they swapped to Hawkeye here, and it starts going a little bit better for them because Iron Man is just going to get taken out by Hawkeye and Moon Knight. So the enemy team did make a pretty good adjustment here, which we appreciate. We appreciate good adjustments, especially in ranked. I mean, if you're one tricking in ranked, it's not always going to work. I don't know. You're just going to win so many more games if you can actually adjust and do something like that. Especially in like plat and gold, it feels like people are not quite as adept at switching around, and I don't know. It's just it's a whole new microcosm of players in plat and gold. It's so interesting. If you see a need, fill a need. You know. If anyone's seen robots. Yeah, so I see the enemy coming through the portal here, and that's when I choose to use my Mantis ult. I'm able to survive the Eye of Agamotto here. We return one back on the enemy team. Not going to be able to get a whole lot because the Invisible Woman pops her ult as well. So I'm just going to back up. I don't want to fight an Invisible Woman ult. There's really no point. And we're going to back up and get kind of staggered here. This Strange is just running me down. So we'll try and heal and damage boost the Captain America, see if he can't make something happen here. But we are very, very staggered, and the Fantastic and the Strange are just running us down. Fantastic is a super annoying part of the game right now. I need to just... I should have also just played forward here. The rocket ults forward, and I could have gotten a shield, but Fantastic just ults me with Cloak and Dagger, and I'm going to get run down pretty hard here. So at this point, I think we should just fully reset. There's really no point in fighting like a 2v5 or anything like that. So try and damage boost the Iron Man as he goes through the point here. Can't get a good Iron Man ult, and I just get absolutely bodied because I don't really know where I'm taking damage from. That was just bad awareness. It's just bad awareness. It is what it is. But we end up getting a couple kills here, or one kill here, I should say. And we're in the final 10 seconds. So really, I'm just looking to farm ult as fast as possible, but we're going to lose everyone else on our team. I see everyone dead. There's nothing really for me to do, so I just kind of play this corner, see if we can get the touch, and we'll damage boost this Iron Man, put some heals on the tanks, and just forget about it. Unfortunately, I do step into the Doctor Strange ult, and I'm going to get taken out. Weren't going to win that point anyway, so it's better that we just reset anyway. All planned, not to worry. Reset the clock to about 1.5 minutes, and we are just going to have to defend for the rest of this map. I think our Iron Fist ends up switching to Black Panther now. So he's been swapping a little bit, trying to just make sure that his assassin picks are working. I don't think that that's necessarily the issue. I think we could have done better with anything else. And I'm just getting run down by Fantastic here. He's just absolutely working me. Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate. So Mantis on defense is something that I definitely should have switched off of, especially when I'm talking about making adjustments. The only time that I've struggled this game is really when tanks just run me down and I can't do any self-healing, or I can't use cloak fade or double jump and kind of get out of here. But I like the decision to switch to Moon Knight here. they have a lot of people that are grouped together, and then they'll have 1 or 2 people that have been diving us. So I like the decision to switch to Moon Knight. Their Cloak and Dagger pops ult here, so we're just going to back right up. They also overlap support ults, so I just pop mine to make sure that we stay alive through theirs. And I am duo queued with this rocket too, so I just have him ult right after mine. And then we'll damage boost and we'll heal this Iron Man. Fantastic is just going to ult and jump on top of me again, so I'm trying to move towards this beacon to make sure that I can replenish my shield. Just sleep for disruption here, and we're just going to make sure everyone stays alive, throwing out more heals than any damage boosts at this point. But this character feels very, very strong on offense. I should have definitely switched off of her for defense, but on offense, it felt like we really, really steamrolled them with the power of damage boosted Iron Man. If you have a damage boosted assassin, someone that's really good at Iron Fist or BP, you can really, really pressure a backline, or even like Star-Lord, something like that, damage boosted, and using his E, he can do a ton of damage very, very quickly. If someone's not paying attention, they will get half clipped or something like that. So very, very strong. But we're gonna play around this corner here and make sure that our full team can reset. And then this Invisible Woman and the Mr. Fantastic are kind of griefing. We get them really, really low, not able to take them out right away. But I'll damage boost and heal the Captain America. And then I should have probably damage boosted the Moon Knight. There we go. And then we'll also try and damage boost the Iron Man, but the Doctor Strange goes up in the air to try and get the Eye of Agamotto, and he isn't able to get anybody. So, yeah, we take the victory 3-2. I definitely could have made a couple adjustments here, but I did want to showcase the first round with the damage boosted Iron Man because it can do a ton of damage. But of course, once people start grouping up and they start doing like 6v6s, Mantis loses a lot of her strength. You really want to play for those picks. So, as you can see from the scoreboard, didn't do too bad. Not a bad game by any means. I think this was the one that actually got me into low plat, but try this character out. I think she's still pretty good, even if you're only playing 2 healers. So leave a comment what you guys want to see next. If there's a character that you even want me to try and rank, I'm down to do that. Like the video if you liked it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.